All right, Minute fans, happy holidays. It's Mena's coming to you. My internet's been playing up, so I don't know how well this broadcast is going to go, but we're going to have a great time. I'm sure you've all spent a wonderful day with your families, um, and you're probably sick of them by now. Yeah, and so I'm here. I've got some stuff planned. I've got a little segment I want to go through as a little Christmas present. Um, some news. Obviously, the show's off, coming off an all-time incredible week. 5 shows, so many great third chairs in there. And if you want some content, go back and catch up on all the network stuff. I mean, um, there's so many great shows. My interview with Jeff D. Lowe, Quantum Kirks, Mount Kirkmores. So yeah, in the next week, if you've been sitting on the fence about the network, this is the week to go and catch up on the network. Also, I'm releasing a Minifandom in the next couple of days with the Drip Lord. So we're due to record tomorrow night. So for all the Drip Lord fans out there, I'm speaking to you in particular, Jeff D. Lowe. That's obviously going to be a late Christmas present. So it'll be me and the Drip Lord with a Minifandom this week. Quantum Kirk is due to release an episode with Kirk in it. I haven't received the episode yet. So see what happens is John from Scranton is their producer, and he gives me the videos right at the very last minute. And then I see recently that fat fucking diva Danny is complaining that I haven't made clips for this interview with Kirk when I haven't even got the video. I mean, I've got to say, Dava and Danny are the two worst people in the world. I mean, especially Danny. Danny is so bad, such a terrible person. He sent me a Christmas text message trying to suck up to me, and I just replied, "Fuck off." He's just a lunatic, a fat loser, and all you need to know about Danny is, one of his best friends was getting married, a few hundred meters from where he was, and he didn't go. So, anyway. So that's what's happening on the network. Lots of great stuff coming, and then I think the show's back next week. I want to tonight, and I'll put it out there. If anyone wants to join me, if there's any, drunk network people that want to jump on, you can DM to join this Christmas festivities. Otherwise, sit back, relax, enjoy. As I said, I hope my internet holds up because I think under the strain of all the Aussies on holiday watching cricket and having a good time. The internet's not 100%, but anyway, we'll see. Um, I want to. I've got the top 50 list, and what I want to do is I want to go through the top 50 list, and I want to decide whether that person has ended up the year better than where they started or worse than where they started. So it's kind of a risers and fallers list. Not in the. I'm just going to use the top 50 list as a basis for the names to go through. But yeah, it's whether their stocks are up after 2023 or their stocks are down after 2023. So let's see. We'll start from 50. No, we'll start from one. We'll start from Kirk, and then we'll go all the way down to 50, and I'll go through whether I think they've had a good or a bad year. Kirk Minahan, obviously, Kirk Minahan stocks are up. He's had a great year because, but he's now Mr. Barstool. He's a star. He's a star at Barstool, and undoubtedly, it's been one of Kirk's finest years as a broadcaster. It's one of the greatest years for a broadcaster in American history. So Kirk's up. His stocks are up. Number 2, Blind Mike. Are his stocks up or down? I actually think Blind Mike's stocks are down this year. And not that his performance is bad, but I think now there's been so many other second chairs that have come in. Sorry, third chairs. Obviously, Mike's the best third chair, but now there are so many other third chairs that can do it. And Mike only does half the shows a week now. There's 4 shows a week. He only does 2. So I actually think Mike's stocks are down. Not he's had bad performances, but I think, for example, if Mike were to say he can't come on the show for a few months, we'd miss him a lot. We'd miss his great rapport with Kirk, but I don't think it would be the blow it would have been, say, at the beginning of 2023. So Kirk up, Blind Mike down. Steve Robinson's stocks. Well, I mean, he shouldn't be on this list, but anyway, his stocks Steve Robinson. God, it's so hard for me to be objective with this guy because I just hate him so much with this blind rage. Just this man I just really dislike. It's just like you get a bad taste in your mouth even talking about him. But I would say Steve Robinson stocks are up. The main wise proven to be a success. I don't know if he's made any money or anything like that, but yeah, Robinson stocks are up. Justin Trudell, well, there's an easy one. I think he's had a great year. This has been one of his best years. And I sort of thought a lot about it that I think actually Justin should have been eligible for Minifan of the Year, more so than Jeff G. Lowe, because Justin, although he's a main part of the show, he's just a character. He's just a Minifan. He's knocked back jobs repeatedly. He's not an intern. I mean, he's a younger Tim in Canton. So, yeah, anyway, Justin stocks are up. Now this is a good one. Dave Cullinane. I mean, this is probably the biggest fall in Minifan history. I think no one has fallen further in a year in Minifan history than Dave Cullinane. He started the year producer, fantastic Portland show, sat on his hands, got lazy, and ends the year freelancing, making videos. And good luck to him. Great, terrific guy. Love it when he goes in as a third chair. But his stocks are so far down to where they were at the beginning of the year in a Minifan sense. It's a huge drop. Chris Klemmer. I actually think Klemmer stocks have gone up. He's sort of been through the tidal wave of emotions and the ups and downs of his relationship with Kirk, and he's come out the other side. He's weathered the storm, so to speak. My English is not too good today. But yeah, Chris Klemmer's weathered the storm, so to speak, and I would say his stocks are up. Now, 7, we've only got another 43 to go. Tim in Canton, stocks up or down? Way down. Tim's stocks have fallen off a cliff, and through no fault of his own, he had a well-publicized health scare. It has certainly taken a little bit of the life out of our good friend Tim, and his stocks are down. Not to say, that affects his overall ranking in the sort of Minifan world. I just think 2023 itself has been a bad year from Tim. I don't know if did he do the car thing this year? I don't think that was it the leg cramp was in 2023. I've got a terrible memory for these things. But either way, Tim's finished the year in a worse state than when he started it. Gig. Sorry, I've skipped a few. 8. Well, I'm going for the top 50. There's Milton's the store for men. Shop at Milton's. Merry Christmas. In Australia, Boxing Day is huge here for sales. So I wonder if Milton's has sales. Next, 9, Bob Murchison. Well, obviously Murchison stocks are way down because Kirk has gone way up, and that means Bob is just one big fat failure. So Bob Murchison stocks down. 10, Gig. Well, he shouldn't even be 10 on this list. That's a farce. It's maybe a top 45 Minifan. Anyway, Gig. Stocks up or down? He's finished the year really well, hasn't he? He sniffed a little bit of attention during the Minifan top 50, and he's rode with it. He's more prolific on Twitter. So I would say he had a quiet year, but ended strongly. So yeah, Gig stocks are up. So if you bought on Gig earlier this year, it's probably a good time to cash your chips. Number 11, Mike Mutnansky. I spent an unhealthy amount of time thinking about Mutt over this Christmas break. I am still flabbergasted at how our relationship has got so bad. Never spoken to the man, never met the man, but I've always been a huge fan. And now I find myself on the outs. He doesn't like me. He's accusing me of saying things about his son, Carter. The only joke I made about Carter was the joke Stephen Providence made like 8 years ago, that Carter's fat and eats too much. And okay, it's not that funny joke when you say it like that, but I've never said anything bad about Carter. So yeah, really spent a lot of time thinking about how I can save things with Mutt. I don't know if I can, and maybe I've misread Mutt. Maybe he's just a little cunt. So fuck him. Mutt, stocks up or down? I think stocks way down. Jesus, I think stocks are way down for Mutt because He lost his job this time last year. He's now spent basically a whole calendar year unemployed. So I would say stocks are way down. Number 12, Steve Zelaya guy. Stock's down. Not that he's done anything in particular, but he hasn't had a strong year. So his stocks are down. K Marco. K Marco. I don't know about this one. I don't know that, like, Kirk made a joke about him being fired. I don't know if he is fired or not. If he is fired, his stocks are down, that's for sure. If he's still getting paid to just sit at home and do nothing, I mean, it's a win for Kirk, but it's not a bad situation to be in. Just take your checks and don't do anything. So anyway, 14, Dave Portnoy, stocks up or down? Well, stocks up. I mean, he's pulled off one of the biggest heists of the century. He sold Barstool for a fortune, cashed hundreds of millions of dollars, and has now bought back Barstool, has complete control. It's one of the greatest moves in media history. So his stocks are way up. Big Cat, I mean, do his stocks ever go down? I don't know. You have to tell me if Big Cat stocks ever go down. I don't think they went down this year. Did he have much to do with KMS? Probably not. I mean, how involved is he really in the show when you look at other Minifans? I think he's certainly drifted from Kirk's show and Kirk's orbit. So I would say stocks down from KMS point of view. Number 16, Jared Carabas. Well, he made his return to the show this year, so stocks up. And he said he'd come in a fandom. So big time stocks up. 17, Rico Bosco. Are his stocks up or down? I would say his stocks are... It's a tough one because Rico is so up and down. You know, if you'd asked me this a month ago, I would have said stocks up. Has to be up. But now in the last week or two, it seems like he's thrown it all away. And so stock's down for Rico. I'm sorry, Rico, but in the end, 2023 will be judged by how it finished for you. And it finished badly. You're on the outs with Kirk. You're just holding on to your position in the dozen trivia. So I would say Rico stock's down. Number 18, Jerry Callahan. So for those tuning in late, I'm doing a rises and fallers, stocks up or down recap. And I'm just using the top 50 list as a base. And then when we go through that, if anyone wants to put any more names in the chat, we can go through that. There's a few that aren't on this list that'd be good to talk about. So I get distracted reading the chat. All right, so where was I? Jerry Callahan, stocks down. I mean, Montante's doing his show. So couldn't get much worse than that. Number 19, Ryan Whitney. Interesting. I think his stocks are down. And sometimes they say in life, if you're standing still, and this is actually not the way this phrase goes, but if you're standing still, you can get overtaken. And I think that's what's happened this year with Ryan. I mean, he's so focused on his amateur golf game and hanging out with the bros that I think other personalities at Barstool have overtaken Whitney. So Whitney is a faller. Tim Richards, number 20 on the top 50 list. He's had a good year. A number of main show appearances. And that was fantastic, which Minifan put out. All the third chairs from the year. Yeah, I think Mark was in 22 times. What a sad case. Tim Richards. He's one that's almost stayed the same, but I think if you haven't dropped, then you've gone, as I said, he's improved, and he's doing this documentary now that is clearly going to be a flop, and we can all make fun of it. So Tim Richards stocks are up. Warden of the North, just consistent growth every year. Consistent growth, never goes away, always produces good talent. One of the most consistent internet content providers in the Minifan world. Stocks up or down for Montante? Stocks have to be up. I mean, Newsmax is hounding him. They want to sign him. He's filling in for Jerry Callahan. He has weathered the storm of not getting the producer job and then crying and all that stuff. So I would say Montante stocks up and a great year for the big fella. And as I've said many times, this is a story Minna fans should identify with, because Montante is, he's every man. He's the everyman. He is, he's an alcoholic. He's a gambler. He's got a terrible family. I mean, it's a hard knock story. A kid, with little intelligence. He's managed to pull himself up by his own hard work and bootstraps. So I think Montante, another good year for him. And probably you'd be looking at Montante as like 3 big years in a row. So it's consistent growth. So if you bought on stocks on Montante 3 years ago, you've done very well. 23, Andy Mayo. So if you'd asked me this 4 or 5 months ago, I would have said stocks up. He was in Kirk's good books. He was doing really well. But then he's finished the year. I think he's still blocked by the show. Even though he went in and did a show, I don't think anyone involved with the show likes him. I'm pretty sure everybody dislikes him. So I'd say with Mayo, stocks down. As I said, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I would have said stocks up, but he's finished the year on a down. 24, Harry Minifan, pass. 25, Kevin Cullen, pass. 26, Stacey from Madawaska, pass. Well, she's down. I mean, no doubt. I mean, Madawaska's on the outs. 27, Jeff Dillo, stocks up. Maybe the biggest increase from anyone on this list. So Jeff Dillo, massive increase. 1 Minifan of the year. I've sort of, I've kind of gone back on that. I think BA's right, and I probably should be Minifan of the year. It's a tough one. So I think maybe it should be me, number 1 Minifan of the year, BA number 2, Jeff 3. I don't know. But at this stage, Jeff Dillo is still the Jon Stewart Minifan of the year. 28, Dale Arnold, pass. 29, Sneakers. Has he gone up or down? He's had a bizarre year because Sneakers had a huge amount of impact in the middle of the year. He jolted Kirk into starting the network again. He did Poppy's Kitchen for a little while, but he has gone away. What do I do with Sneakers? Stocks up. I had to think about it for a while, but even though he finishes the year in a bit of a slump, I think overall it's been, we might be in the Sneakers era and we just don't know it. I'm not sure, but maybe when people write back and read history, write history about this, maybe this will be the Sneakers era. All right, 30, Visionless Dave, stocks up or down? Well, he did go in studio before Socko, so that's a good thing, and he did great in studio. Visionless Dave's a weird one because he drifts away from the world when the football season is on, and then he comes back post-football season. I would say stocks down from Visionless Dave. Not by a lot, but I think the network was made for someone like him, and as yet he hasn't really had anything significant on the network. The Big Dog Show is great, but it's for a limited audience of NFL gamblers. Obviously, there's not a lot of those. By the way, the DMs are just rolling in for people who want to join me on this stream. I can't. My inbox is completely filled up. All right, sorry, I'll bring back the list. So I'm going through the Minifan top 50. Well, I'm going through the risers and the fallers of the year. I'm using the top 50 list as a base, and then I'm going to hit from the chat. And yes, I have zero idea what the NFL is. I follow it very, very loosely. I'm not even sure I know the point system or the rules. Okay, next question. Matt Carano, stocks down. DEC, stocks down. Greg Polar, stocks down. He's been absent from the show. He pops his head up for air every now and then, but I think he's a little bit scared of sort of being associated with the show. Like I wouldn't say he's ashamed of Kirk, but I think maybe he is ashamed of Kirk and the show. Julie DeCaro, well, stocks down. Kevin the Caller, stocks up, way up. I mean, if you bought on Kevin the Caller this year, you've made a fucking fortune, because is he the best caller? Probably. He's close to the best caller. He's a sick individual, a sick man. but I can respect that. So way up for Kevin the Caller. In fact, you think about how many memorable moments Kevin the Caller has given to the show. He's certainly not been a fan of the year because he's too quiet, but I could see why he was in the discussion. Kevin from Bristol, stocks up or down? God, it's a tough one because I actually think stocks are up. I think what has happened is Kirk and Kevin are in a better spot than they were at the beginning of 2023. I don't think Kirk likes Kevin, but I think things have cooled down. Kevin's kept his nose clean. We've certainly been sniffing around Minna Lady's underwear, from what I imagine. So I would say Kevin from Bristol, up on Kevin. John from Scranton, number 37 on the top 50 list, which is just ridiculous. John from Scranton, stocks up or down? Unfortunately, and I really hate to say this, but I have to say they're up. When you think about at the beginning of the year, I'll get to the Drip Lord at the end of this list. So put anyone else you want me to get to. I would say John from Scranton, hated by the Minna fans at the beginning of this year, one universally despised as a rat, as a liar. And then it even got worse. He sent those messages. He was on the way to the Portland show and never turned up. But then in the end, I think he's actually come out for the better. He stuck at the producer race. He showed himself to be a competent producer. He showed himself to be a fan of the show. And there's no doubt he knows the show backwards. He's not a show hater. I mean, he has terrible instincts, but he's not a show hater. And I guess the only knock on John is, how many network shows can he destroy by sticking his nose in? I don't know, but his stocks are up. Patrick from the Discord, is he even alive? Is he dead? I mean, I'm not on Discord, but stocks down. Greg Polar again, still stocks down. Donald J. Trump caller, stocks down. We haven't heard anything from Trump. Julie, who crosses the T's and dots the I's. Was she even known before this year? Was 2023 Julie's sort of introduction to the world? And if so, her stocks can only have gone up. I think certainly Julie has gone down in terms of she came in and then she's shown to be very boring on the show. Lovely, lovely, lovely lady. She's super lovely. I actually really enjoyed talking to her on Minna Fandom, but I would just say Julie, stocks down because she's so boring on the show and she's so sensitive. But in the end, I got to respect her for doing what she did with Montante. So I would say overall stocks up, but she's finished the year in a slump. Riggs, stocks down. Yeah, stocks down. I think he's done nothing interesting this year. When you think of all the other Barstool, all the other Barstool personalities who've done stuff on the show this year. I mean, he did a couple of shows with Kirk during the golf tournament, and he's god-awful boring, Riggs. So stocks down. Just John Featherston. I mean, I don't even know if he's done anything this year, but stocks down then. Shirley the Young, stocks down. Lauren Lynn, stocks way down. I mean, the biggest drop of any Minna lady in history. She put Andy Mayo in her hottest Minna fans list. I mean, she's gone from, being one of the blue chip stocks in the market to just being a penny stock that you give them away. You're giving these penny stocks away in other deals. So Lauren Lynn, massive, massive drop. Fred Couples, stocks up. Steve from Providence, interesting one. He's not in the world anymore, so stocks down. I would say he's just drifted further away. I still would like to put him in a room with Wagon and see what happened. I know Steve's always held a little bit of affection for Lauren Lynn, or at least wanted to get in the pants, and who doesn't? 48, Ziggy Robinson. Stocks down, absolutely, way down, in fact, because, again, The network's been going now for 6 months. Kirk has repeatedly said that his show with Red and VD was one of his favorites, and they're not doing it. So stock's way down for Ziggy. I would say for a dog, it's a massive drop. That's all I'm saying. MHB, stock's down. That was so sad the way, as soon as this Minifan top 50 thing came about, he popped his head up. He wanted to start a show on the network and then just disappeared. So MHB, again, penny stocks. Him and Lauren Lynn, you can probably just get them for free somewhere. BA, well, I've said it, and this may be the greatest comeback in Minifan history. I mean, BA, you think about it, a drunk, battling drug addiction, stumbling around, making a fool of himself in Portland. He doesn't remember a thing. He doesn't remember meeting the Minifans. He couldn't watch the show. To hosting the flagship show on the network, and Kirk saying he does a good job, to going to soccer and being there for the producer announcement and being relatively sober. So I would say BA stocks are way, way up. Huge lift. All right, so now is the question for those 20 people still watching who are sick of their family, and I empathize. Put some questions in the chat. I mean, I'll go through a few other. I should bring up this third chair list. Let me get this third chair list up. Mayor's told me to kill myself because of my. Anyway, let me get this third. I'll find it on Kirk's page. Anyway, Drip Lord, well, stocks up for sure. I would say, Drip Lord stocks are up. Who else? Beyond Average Mick has had a good year. Can you believe that? Beyond Average Mick. That's very, very surprising to hear where he was. But he had a good year. I'm going to get this third chair graphic up. Of the producers, who else had a good year? Well, Augustus, I don't know. I mean, he got the job, but things have kind of fallen off the wagon. Coleman, he's finished the year strong. Coleman's very good. Coleman is very, very good. All right, now I've got the third chairs of 2023 up. I should upload this for you all to see. Let me just upload this for you all to see, and we can go have a little bit of a look, rank a few, and then we'll log off. America, what have you all done today on this Christmas occasion? It's Boxing Day here for me today. So I have been eating leftover ham, watching cricket. That's the tradition in Australia. We watch cricket on Boxing Day. All right, so here we've got the third chairs, and I can't even read that, but it'll give you, and it covers my face, which is an added bonus for all of you out there, especially Lauren Lynn, who can't stand the look of me. Okay, so this is the third chair. Blind Mike 83 times. Mutt 22 times. Montante third 9 times. Surprised about that. Justin 7 times. Julie 6 times. There's about 5 too many there. Mick 6 times. Well, he's fucking high up the rankings. Pat Ford 5 times, about right. Tim Richards 5 times. Promoting that stupid she's out there with that thing. And then you got Mayo 4 times. Mayo 4 times. Carabas, Cinema Lord, Cullinane, Peltz 3 times. Polar. Well, you see all the list there. Danny from Bill Ricker. I think he's had a good year. He's an asshole, but I think for a drip like him, he's had a good year. David from Hull's had a terrible year. I think Kirk liked him at the beginning of the year, but then as the year's gone on, he's really gone downhill. So bad year for Dave. Stocks are way down. Joe the pizza guy. I like Joe. He's got a hard time, but I'm a Joe guy. Max, do you remember Mad Max? So do you remember Mad Max and his espresso martinis? He went on. He got sort of killed a little bit by Kirk. Then he came on Minifandom, got absolutely shredded, and yes, I've had a bit of a cough recently, so I'll use the cough button next time. Yeah, but Max, so he came on Minifandom, did that terrible performance, and then got hammered. So I remember Max the Beeve. Who's the Beeve? Can't remember him. Acronym guy, universally despised, hammered at soccer. Alicia, can't remember her. BA, been in once. Beanbag Ron's even been in. Bree Hunter, Brian the dentist, Cheeks. Well, a great list of third chairs, really. A great list. Well, that's all I really wanted to jump on. I've gone through my rises and fallers. Anyone else? Any questions before I questions before I put the questions in the chat if you want, or anyone else you want me to rate whether they're a riser or a faller? But what a year it's been for the network. I mean, really, I think 2023 will be remembered as the year the network restarted. I mean, so when they sort of, log, the great historical moments of 2023, Kirk Minihane Network will be restarting. I think will be a moment that will go down in history of great importance. I mean, this has led to, I've essentially unearthed Steve from Gloucester, like I've unearthed this gem of a talent who had 7 fishes on Christmas Day. Sounds awful. Ugh, I hate seafood. Not all seafood, but you imagine Steve from Gloucester's seafood, like secondhand off Amazon. Fucking kid you. Yes, Ted, Pat Ford is the riser. But yeah, I just think I've had such a good time with the Minifans. I think I've never been in a better place with the show as 2023 comes to an end. I've never been more satisfied. I've never thought the show has been better. For me, what Coleman's been able to do, and God, I hate blowing smoke up his ass, and Gus and Kirk and the whole team, but it's the first time I feel like all cylinders are firing, that the show's, as good as ever, and they're not ignoring the network. I am, I've never been happier with the show. Thrilled doing the network. And as I said, Mena's Live just had to go to bed. And actually, this new show I'm doing tonight is called Tiny CEO. And I'm actually hoping it'll become part of the Token CEO network eventually. So, yeah, Minifandom's going to be my main show on the network. But maybe every now and then, when me and Erica get together, Tiny CEO will be more prevalent, because I'm a big leadership guy. So I want to set the example. I want the network to continue. Yeah. So look, I hope you all had a great Christmas, great time with your family. Sorry, I know you're not allowed to say Christmas, but I hope you had a great holiday, whatever your faith, Adam, whoever. And remember, I'm recording with the Drip Lord Pat Ford tomorrow night, Boxing Day your time. So if you want to send any listener questions, send them through DM me, or I've got a tweet out. Get your questions to the Drip Lord, because let's get to know this boring bloke even more. Let's get to know how unexciting he is. And yeah, so that's my rises and fallers for Christmas Day. Take care. Hope you all got a lovely amount of presents, and I'll be back soon.